as we continue to look through social media sources as well as police radio reports of exactly what happened here. It sounds like we have multiple sources reporting an active shooter situation at Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. A number of sources also reporting that the situation has been resolved. To what end? We're not entirely sure. Our Cody Holyoke just tried to get in touch with some of the folks we know in public relations at the hospital. When he asked, is everyone okay, he got a no comment. It doesn't mean that they're not. They may actually not know at this point as they're still putting things together. And as you can see from the map that we've had up, this is a huge area. You have the new tower for Children's is right here. You have all the clinic buildings, the clinics as well over here in this building. As well as we have learned that folks in the nearby hospitals as well, at least at Medical College of Wisconsin, were notified of this situation and told to stay in place as well. So this is affecting a very large area, and putting together exactly what happened may be difficult. And you should keep that in mind as we continue to bring you these secondhand witness accounts, things that people are hearing from people who are inside. They could still be very far away from the immediate situation.
Our morning traffic reporter, Caitlin Morrell, just checked in with us. Her husband is a doctor at the Children's Hospital there at Fredert, and he is in the OR, and he is also in lockdown, and she says that he is not getting any information about the situation, but also in a lockdown mode. So kind of by process of elimination, we know that this is not going on in the OR or in the intensive care unit. But we do know that there is something going on there, and there is some sort of incident possibly with an active shooter, and we've had reports of gunfire, people talking about hearing gunfire, and possibly, as Vince has said, that this has been resolved, but nothing coming from any police sources, nothing being confirmed, but certainly many, many reports now coming from witnesses, coming from family who are on lockdown at the hospital, telling us that they have loved ones there and who are on lockdown because of this situation, which is obviously a dangerous situation, or they wouldn't be in lockdown mode.
Yeah, Sam, you mentioned Caitlin, Road Warrior Traffic's Caitlin Morrell, who's part of our morning show every day. You mentioned her husband is a surgeon there at Fredert, and Caitlin joins us now on the line. Caitlin, first things first, your husband's okay, yes?
Yeah, he's been text messaging back and forth.
Okay, tell us what you can that he's been able to share with you.
Well, he's working at Children's Hospital this month, and I just got a text message that said they had a cold blue and they were locked in the OR because there was potentially a shooter on property at CHW.
Okay, so he actually this month, you said he's at Children's, so he would be somewhere within the Children's Hospital.
Yes, yep, he was in the operating room at Children's Hospital at the time.
And Caitlin, what is he saying about the mood at that point? I mean, obviously he's a surgeon, he's pretty steady guy, but what is he saying about what the mood is like there?
He didn't say much about the move. All he kind of said was he was looking kind of to me to see if I could get more information, maybe via, our emails or what we might be hearing in the newsroom on the scanner, because they were pretty blind to what was going on. They just knew that there was potentially a shooter in the building.
All right, Caitlin Morrell, glad to hear your husband is okay, and we definitely appreciate you checking in with us with that information this afternoon. Yep. I want to go to Angie right now. Angie is calling us from inside Children's Hospital right now. Angie, I appreciate you taking the time to try and share some information with us. Just tell us where you are and what is happening.
We are on the 7th floor at Children's Hospital, and there was an active shooter, and they do have him detained. They have told us that he is in handcuffs, but the nurse did say that there is blood in the hallway, and they're not certain if it was the police officer's blood or if it was the shooter's blood.
And you're saying that's what happened on the 7th floor, Ange?
On the 7th floor.
Okay. And did you hear shots fired at all?
We did not hear shots fired, but we were in the bathroom. We actually unplugged my son, and we went in the bathroom and locked the door.
And everybody's okay, right? As far, I mean, it is connected with you and the folks near you?
Yes, everyone around us is okay. They just weren't certain if it was the police officer or the shooter that was hurt. The nurses didn't know yet.
So, Angie, you're saying there's a possibility that a police officer or a security officer of some kind may have been injured in this situation?
Our nurse told us that she wasn't sure if it was the police officer or the shooter. We do not know.
We're trying to get more information on all that, Angie, and I sure do appreciate that, but I do want to get to the emotion of this. I mean, you mentioned it was your son that's in the hospital. I mean, folks who have someone that they love in Children's Hospital have enough to worry about. I mean, what are you experiencing and feeling right now?
I'm just shaking. I mean,
Yeah.
we were very scared. My son's only 3 weeks old.
Oh, my.
And I mean, like I said, we went in the bathroom and locked the door because we didn't, we thought that was the safest place to be. It was the only door that locked in our room.
Well, Angie, despite all of that, I'm so glad that you did call in. I'm glad that everybody close to you is okay, and we appreciate the information that you provided for us.
Sure, not a problem.
And we understand that Children's Hospital now has a statement that it is releasing. Jonah Kaplan is live in our newsroom with more on that. Let's go to our newsroom now. Jonah Kaplan with more on what Children's Hospital is releasing. Jonah?
Yes, Sam, actually this is a statement we just got to our newsroom. I'm holding it right here, and it states that Children's Hospital of Wisconsin is currently on lockdown while law enforcement responds to a report of an active shooter. We have implemented our emergency protocols and will provide updates as available. We're also just getting some very preliminary reports from the hospital and from police. Again, we've heard from people calling from inside there on lockdown. This potential shooter is a young male in his young 20s. Early indications that the shots were not fired by the suspect. At least the police reports do not indicate that. I'm getting that directly from a source with the police department. There are a few people in the system with the same name, apparently, so even police are trying to figure out exactly who is the shooter, who is going into those halls, and where it is. So a lot of things we don't know right now, but what we can confirm, again, is that this is a major police event in and around Children's Hospital of Wisconsin in the Wauwatosa area. So it's really important also to hear from people inside the hospital. What are you hearing? This is kind of a unique situation because when we think about news, it's the deviation of the norm. So we don't need to hear that necessarily from police, but hear it from a collection of people in one specific environment.